now. Oh, there you go. All right, had a little technical difficulties at first. What's up, coaches? Coach O'Neill here, office coordinator here at Schlegel High School, located in Kansas City, Kansas. Today, I'll be going over 3 passing concepts that I like out of that's actually in my offense, but that I like out of the wing T formation. All right, so those 3 concepts are going to be called I call them stop, Portland, as you can see right here, and go. All right, so stop is basically your curls with your snag concepts. What you see behind the board right here, it's just alternative version out of the wing T, and then Portland is your double post concepts, and then go is your all go. So for starters, I'm going to start off with the stop. All right, so as you can see here, we have our X and our Z. All right, so basically you call this the backside of the formation because we're going to call the strength to our Y. So our X and our Z is our backside guys, but these can be our first reads if we want. All right, so it depends on where you're on the field. If you're to the boundary or you have the formation to the field, you can do certain things. But anyway, your play side, all right. So you have a tight end, and then you have your wing or your H back in the wing, your flex back, excuse me, in the wing position. So now to start off, play side, your tight end, he's going to have a 10-yard corner route. All right, your H back or your flex, whatever you want to call him, he's going to run a 6-yard snag. You want to tell him to try to be at least inside of this backer. All right, and I'm going to get into details why you want him to do that. All right, your backside, your Z receiver, he's going to run a 6-yard snag route as well. All right, you want to make sure that wherever that inside that slot defender is, you want to tell him to attack that inside shoulder. Do the same concept. You want him inside of that slot defender. All right, your Z receiver, your X receiver, excuse me, your X receiver, make sure you tell him to have an IR, inside release, hard inside release, get vertical, get 8 yards, sit on the curl. All right, now. The reason why I want this guy here, my H back, to run a snag and get on the inside eye, the inside shoulder of that backer, because what I'm expecting that backer to see this tight end get upfield and get vertical, and I want him to open his hips to that tight end. Obviously, we have the cornerback right here, and he's going to be playing grass, and he can actually play underneath that corner route, and you have the rover who can play over top. But I want this guy in particular to open his hips to that tight end as he runs the corner route, because as he's opening his hips, all right, as he's opening his hips, I want that H-back to pretty much sneak right up underneath, and this gives your quarterback a good window to throw him the ball. Same thing with this side, the backside snag route. Now, obviously, when him attacking the inside shoulder of that nickel defender, all right, I'm expecting him to pretty much turn inside and flow with it. But I want this guy. With this guy, I'm expecting him to also look inside for that snag. So you'll have a good window to throw to either one or two of these guys right here. Now, obviously, if your backer, if you say they take this snag away, if we're throwing the ball to the backside of the formation, if they take the snag away, obviously we have the 8-yard curl right here, because that linebacker is going to flow with that snag, giving you grass to throw a high percentage pass with your quarterback. Same thing here. All right. Let's just say the cornerback does something fishy where he's just sitting in the grass, he's just buzzing, and he's giving you the open. Right? Obviously, your quarterback still has a great window. Now, the things that I'm going to add on to this, that I want to put onto this, that will help make this play even more effective out of this formation. Obviously, in the wing T or the shotgun wing, you'll have issues with your tight end on the line and then your H-back. And obviously, sometimes they can get congested when it comes to running routes and getting out of traffic here. So the first thing I'm going to talk about that I will add to this, all right? So formation, shifts and motions wise. So obviously with my Z receiver, I can run what I call a fly motion. So basically what a fly motion is for me, it's just the same thing as a jet motion, but fly just telling that guy that he's not getting the ball, all right? You're just moving hard and fast across the line of scrimmage. You can run it, have him convert into a bubble or anything, whatever you like, he can run a wheel. It doesn't really matter, all right? So this just the whole concept of the fly is to let him know that he's running, sprinting across field into whatever route that pertains to that play. So in the essence for this one, obviously we have our concept here, but this is the beauty of this, all right? So this is where I tied in a little bit of air raid, the triangle concept to this wing T, because now if I run fly motion with this guy, let me show you. He runs fly motion, all right, excuse me, get a better visual. But if he was to run fly motion, I'm telling him to run the bubble route, all right? I'm telling him to run a bubble. But now the fact that he's running a bubble, now we have a 1, 2 to 3 concept. And now we also have a spacing concept with the triangle concept, all right? So we have that triangle spacing that we're looking for That generally what you find in air raid offenses. They try to run a lot of concept that creates that triangle spacing because obviously it gives your quarterback a great visual of the grass and how the defense is covering, and it also puts the defense in the bind as well when you use this concept as well. So that's one way you can use the fly motion with the Z receiver, and you can also use the fly motion with the H receiver as well. So say you want to pressure this side with your twin set receivers over here. You want to put some pressure on this side. You can fly him across like so, and he can run the bubble now. All right, concepts don't change. So that's the beauty. The whole biggest thing about my offense, especially with coaching high school guys, you want to do things that, like I said, if you can change, at least make 2 tags to it, or 2. When you're making adding on motions and adding on things, if you have to change multiple 3 or more assignments, scratch away from it, because now you're giving your kids a whole new offense, a whole new play concept to learn, and it's veering away from the original play. So try to give at least 1 to 2 tags at the most, 2 tags at the most, so your kids can comprehend and know, okay, so if I have a motion, I have this, I know that this won't change here. Your quarterback can easily understand, all right, this is what happens if this goes down, all right? So you want to at least get the guys 2 tags. Now, another thing that you can do along with fly motion that you can tag on, and I'm just going to write down the motions that you can use. So you can use fly, it's basically jet sweep or jet motion, excuse me. All right. You have another one I call a cross. This is a shift. All right. So he's basically just shifting across into his original set. All right. And then you also have obviously your orbit. If guys know what orbit is, it's guys going to the option pitch relationship. So I just showed you guys what the Z and H can do with the fly motion, and you still have your 3-man concept, your 3-man progression read. If we add the across, now what your Z will do, he'll motion across. So he'll motion across here. He'll line up off the ball, obviously. He'll line up off the ball here. And then from there, he's still running his curl route. All right, he's still running an 8-yard curl, and you still have a triangle concept in the same sense. Because now you have 1 to 2 to 3, or you can go 1 to 2 to 3. It really doesn't matter. However you want to do the progression reads, it's up to you, and it allows you to do whatever you like. So this is the whole beauty of that concept. Like I said, you can shift your Z receiver across, have him run a curl route. You still have spacing in a sense. All right. So this is one way you can do it. Now with orbit motion, and I know I'm flying through this, but I actually have a class in about a few minutes. So I'm trying to get through this as much as I can. Now another deal you can do is you can run the orbit motion. Now what the orbit motion is, it's just pitch option situation. Or option situation, but what that does is automatically throws your guy into that swing concept. So instead of having him run a jet across, he's in a full-on sprint around, and then now you still have that swing or that bubble, if you want to call it, and you still have that the 3-man concept, that spacing concept here. Same thing with the H. If you come back around with the H, you'll still have the same This is the one thing why.
Good morning.
This is one reason why I like the stop or the curl concept, the curl snag concept, because there's multiple things you can do out of different formations, man. So with the wing, you can easily put pressure on either side of the field and continue to force the defense to cover vertical and horizontal of the entire field base. I'm flying through this, like I said, because I'm trying to get to the next class. All right, so another one that you can run, all right, it's called Porton. Now, I call it Portland in my playbook. Basically, what Portland is double post, all right? So you have your double post backside. Play side, this is what happens, all right? So on play side, you're going to have a shallow drag, all right? You want that tight end to run right underneath those linebackers. Your H, he's going to run a deeper drag, all right? He's going to run a more of a deep 10 to 12 yards just because you want him to occupy these safeties as well. And these guys are making sure that these linebackers honor that drag and sit, so they can't bail to get over or underneath that deep drag. So, like I said, same concept is the same way that I taught when I did the post corner and the double post concept. Same rules apply here. All right. Only difference with adding the shallow drag and the deep drag is basically the shallow drag is to occupy those inside backers. But at the same time, if you notice, if he gets across field, say something was to happen and none of these guys open. By the time he gets across field, I'm expecting him to be in open grass right here. So you still have your 3-man concept there. And then if you come over top, say those backers take that away. Now we have grass over here to play with these safeties. Again, if you go back and look, because I'm not going to dive into that portion, but if you go back and look at my last video over the double post and the post corner concept, you'll see what I want to do when it comes to those safeties. But as I was saying, by occupying the safety with these double posts, you have this guy sit right underneath, come underneath if he was to take that away or he was to get help. If it's a one high safety look, again, that's even better because now that safety in the middle is in a complete bind because now he has to pick and choose what 3 routes he's going to cover. He has 3 routes he has to cover, all right? So he has to pick and choose. Obviously, if he plays deep, we got the underneath with the deep drag. If he sits on that drag, we can hit him with either one of the post routes, all right? Now, same thing apply with far as motions-wise, all right? So obviously, with this play concept, I prefer not to move my Z just because I want to maintain that double post, right? So the whole concept of Portland is basically telling me that I'm running double post. So Portland is the double post. So we don't want to move this guy. But with this guy here, we can do the same concept. We can fly him across and have him run a bubble. He can run a flat route, all right? We can shift him across and with a cross motion and have him run the same concept. Or if you want, you can have him run the drag of coming back across field. So you can have the drag come back across field. Now you have 3 routes that the guy have to cover. And if it's a too high look, someone has to choose. You have a minute and 5 seconds to get to class on time. If you want an orbit motion, like I said, these 3 motions here, man, these 3 motions or these 3 shifts of motion, basically, excuse me, will put your guys in a bind for the most part, but we're also opening up space if they were to take away our shot play. All right. So if they're taking away our big shot play, they're going to put these guys in a bind with the underneath hits. All right. So and then last thing, and I actually want to draw up the go. And then I'm gonna have to get out of here, guys. But I really wanted to show you guys these 3 concepts as fast as I can because I have class, but I wanted to show you guys these concepts just because I feel like these are very effective in the wing. All right. With the wing, this is very effective. So now we go. We're gonna start backside. So our X receiver is gonna start outside. He's gonna get vertical. All right. You want telling him to get to the bottom of the numbers. So if this is the numbers, I want him to run at the bottom of the numbers. It's a race upfield. All right. Your Z receiver is running up the seams. All right. He's gonna take the seam. Your Y, your tight end, you can do multiple things as your tight end, but I'm gonna get to him last. Your H receiver or your H back flex when you're called, you want him to get Y to get up at the bottom of the numbers as well. All right. Now, like I said, with your Y, your tight end, he can run up the seam, but here's the beautiful thing about this. You can tag or you can add to this play depending on what type of looks you get here. So versus a too high look, I want him to run vertical. All right. Versus a too high look, I want him to run vertical. Versus a 1 high look, you can tag a dig, a deep dig, like a 10-yard dig, or you can tag a 10-yard out. All right, either way, it doesn't matter. Now, if you want to do something in a sense, if you want to keep that triangle concept, you want to keep that spacing concept, what you can do now, instead of having him get vertical and get upfield, you can have him shallow drag across. All right, you can have them. So those are 3 ways you can use your tight end in this sense of this play to make sure it's effective. Now, another way you can do it as well, you can also take this guy right here and you can motion him across with you can jet sweep him across with the fly. You can also use the cross motion to shift him over and you can have him run a bubble or flat route. It really doesn't matter. And then the orbit motion is just to have a flat defending threat. All right. So, like I said, these are 3 play concepts that I think out of the wing will be very effective. It can put pressure to either side of the field on the defense. All right. It really basically the Portland concept gives hassle to your safeties, no matter if you have a 2 high or 1 high safety look. And then with your underneath route, it makes those guys honor. Your linebackers have to honor those guys and not bail in order to take away your shot play. So, like I say, guys, this is Coach O'Neal here once again. I had to do this quick video real quick because I had to run up to class, but I wanted to get information out to you guys. If you guys ever want to contact me, you already know to contact me on Twitter at Coach O223. I'm always willing to talk ball. I'm a football guy through and through. Other than that, man, if nobody ever told you, coaches, man, you guys be awesome. Continue to be awesome. Let me get out here and get my guys ready upstairs, and I'll have another video maybe tomorrow, if not tomorrow, sometime this weekend, going over some type of run game concept. Because what I'm doing is going from passing to run. I don't want to just do completely passing plays. And, I don't want to just bore you guys with that. So I want to give you different concepts and everything. But I really wanted to kind of get this out of my head, all right? So this shotgun wing was in my head, and these 3 concepts was in my head all day. And I just had to give this to you guys and just give a quick video. I know it's kind of rushed, but again, I'm subbing for a class, and I got to go help out real quick. So these are 3 plays that you can use in your wing T concept that will put pressure on your defense no matter how or whatever way you want to put it. So anyway, like I said, guys, if nobody ever told you, be awesome. See you guys later. Now I gotta go to class.